Hi guys, Steph here. Now what we've got for you today is, well, yet another lovely pen from my recent pen haul. Now what we've got for you here, some of you will look at it and recognise it straight away, is a Swan Mabie Todd 4260 Leverless fountain pen. Now I've looked back in my videos, although I've done so many, I've got to check whether I've actually already shown you one. Now I have actually shown you a similar pen. I've actually shown you the 4240, and I've actually shown you how to put a new sack into these pens as well, so it shows you how to service it. So if you're interested in that, you'll have to go way back into my videos, and well, I had to find it myself, so just to check up whether I've not already done a video on this one. So the reason I've done this one being the 4260, as I say, I've shown you the 4240. Now the difference being the 4 series at the time, and the time being around the 1930s, 1940s, Swan Mabie Todd brought out a 4220, which was a navy blue, a 4230, which was a grey, a 4240, which, as I say, I've already shown you, a 4250, which was a burgundy, and this particular model being the 4260, which is the black model. And this being the classic black, it looks absolutely stunning. Again, as always, we've fully restored it, we've cleaned it, we've put a new sack in it, etc. The size of this particular pen, from the top of the cap to the bottom of the barrel, around about 131 millimeters capped. Around the barrel, around about, well, it's about 11 millimeters in diameter. Now, just coming back to all the other 4 series that I mentioned, the trim on all them pens are exactly the same. The only difference being is the colour of the plastic or the hard rubber or whatever they're actually made of. So the trim on this one, you'll see it's got, well, it's got 3 cap bands to the bottom of the cap there, and what you've got is you've got quite a sort of a broad one with 2 sort of thinner ones to each side. To the top of the cap there, you can see the very recognizable Swan clip to the top, and if we turn it round, you can see this one, as with all of them, is what we term as the ball clip. And the thing that you'll notice about this pen, it's sort of a torpedo shape. You'll see to the top of the cap there, it's slightly peaked, which sort of complements the end of the barrel there, which, as you can see, is slightly peaked. But not only that, if I bring it sort of close up, you'll see it's got little ridges to the end, because that's how we actually fill the pen, which I'll show you in a moment. Let's show you the barrel imprint there. You'll see it's got a lovely clear barrel imprint that reads Swan Mabie Todd. It's got Leverless on it. It's got Made in England, and obviously this Swan logo in the middle there, so nice and clear. And on these pens, as with the other one, to the bottom there, you can see we've got the model number being 4260, and again you can see a little bit clearly there, you can see we've got this knurled knob to the bottom of the barrel. So as we said, this is the leverless pen, absolutely stunning condition. Let's take the cap off, which unscrews. Let's give you a couple of little different angles. Let's give it a twirl. In absolutely stunning condition. Incidentally, these are very nice pens, quality made pens, quite substantial pens as well. They're not small, they're a lovely size. They're actually one of my favourite Swan pens. Let's take you up to this section there. You can see the section's got a slight taper with this ridge towards the end of the section towards the nib, and if I turn it round slightly, you can see also on the section it's got written Swan. The nib, you can see it's got a Swan #2 nib by Mabie Todd and Company, and to the bottom, you may not be able to see it, maybe inside the section, it has Made in England. Let's give you a sideways view there. a lovely sized nib. If we turn it over, you can see on the feed also, if we get you the correct angle, the feed also has the word Swan written on the feed, and you see it's a very recognisable Swan comb feed underneath there. Again, all been nicely cleaned, all been polished, etc, etc. As we said, a lovely pen, lovely size, very comfortable to actually hold as well, these pens. Okay, you people that send me messages and say, oh yes, I'd like to see the pen writing, so just bear with me. I've just forgotten a bit of tissue, so we've got on that. So let's bring on the ink. To fill this pen, what we actually do, we just simply unscrew this little knob there, like so. Okay, and I've actually explained it in the other video, so well, alright, let's explain again. By turning this knob here, what actually happens, there's actually a bar inside that turns, and what it actually does, it catches onto the sack inside the pen, and it, if you like, it twists the sack inside. So once you turn it, it turns the bar, that twists the sack, and then when you turn it back, the bar goes back to its original position, and in effect the sack opens up and takes in the ink. So that's how the pen actually works. So let's dip it into the ink. Let's do it a couple of times. Oops, can't get hold of it. There we go. So there was a little bit of bubbling going on there. Don't know if you could actually see that. Let's give the pen a wipe. Let's bring on some paper and let's see how the pen actually writes. So what we have is a Swan. As we said, this is the Mabie Todd and Company Limited pen. As we said, this particular model is the 4260. We're dating it from 1930s through to maybe sort of late 1940s. I'm not putting any pressure on the nib as such, and at this point it seems to be writing with quite a stiff nib. However, if I apply some pressure, you can see we're getting some variation in the line. So without putting any pressure on, we're getting a fine line, but if we then, on the downward stroke, if we apply pressure, you can see we're getting a nice variation in line. There we go. So let's show you that. So writing with a nice fine line, once we apply a bit of pressure on the downward stroke, you can see we've got a little bit of flex. It's not one of the best or one of the flexiest nibs I've had, but as you can see, it is flexy and it does give you the opportunity to sort of vary the line when you're actually writing. All in all, lovely writer. So let's pop the cap back on, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it at that, because as I say, I've already done you one. It was just to simply show you this one, because this is the 4260 in black. The 4240 that I've already shown you was it's actually dark green, and as I say, there's other numerous colours that were available, that are still available in this particular model. All in all, one of the nice Swan pens, one of the sought after Swan pens. These pens are very, very popular with the collectors. So I hope you've enjoyed looking at the pen. As always, as much as I enjoy showing them to you people, don't be shy, leave a comment, but for now I'll just say bye bye now.